What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. Today, I want to talk about a list because I'm in a business that makes lists. I'm in a business that likes ranking things. I'm in a business that likes putting numbers next to items and saying this is what I think. Okay? So, let's talk about position U, okay? Let's talk about what y'all have said in relation to what I have said. So I'm going to start with this, okay? If you got a question and there's like a raise your hand feature in here and you got a comment, say so. We'll get to it in the time allotted. So I got QBU as Oklahoma for reasons that I thought were obvious here, right? Number one overall pick in the 2018 draft, the number one overall pick in the 2019 draft, 2 Heisman winners. You know, I thought that this was known here, guys. Jalen Hurts gets drafted in the second round, and y'all know that I don't really think he's that great a quarterback. I don't understand how we can get to a space where folks are just not really thinking that this is what they want to do. Good me goodness. All right. So, it's getting a little unruly because I did a thing. I thought folks were here to host. No, that's okay. So when they tell me Jalen for Heisman, I'm going, did you see what Joe Burrow did in 2019? Did you see what Chase Young did in 2019? Did you see what Trevor Lawrence did in 2019? There's a number of players that I think would have won the Heisman, not named Jalen Hurts. That said, still, a dude that has won a national championship at Alabama, grad transfers to Oklahoma, takes that team to the college football playoff, wins the Big 12 championship, is the quarterback for what I believe was the coolest win of my lifetime. That would be 2019 OU Baylor. Oklahoma goes down to Waco, goes down by 25, comes back, wins that game in a game that I lost my mind watching. Not unlike the quadruple overtime that was OU Texas last year. All right. So I see there with some folks that have for real problems with Wisconsin as RBU. I'm sorry. I don't understand how you could have an issue with this. Perhaps you stand for Derrick Henry. Cool. It is a weak Heisman for me. And we're going to act like Christian McCaffrey didn't play that year. But okay, whatever. Perhaps you like Bo Scarborough, but we haven't really heard much of Bo Scarborough in the NFL, have we? No, I don't think we have. I also think perhaps you like Eddie Lacy, who was a dude that needed to make weight. They had to bribe the man with bonuses to get him to make weight in the NFL. Okay, maybe you like Mark Ingram. Fine, that's fine. But when I look at Wisconsin, I know that whoever wins that tailback spot is not only going to get the carries, he's going to be a monster, right? Take a look at Melvin Gordon. Right? We got to get all the way back to Ron Dane. Hello. Jonathan Taylor's in the league doing nice stuff in the league. The man was a monster for 2 solid years. I believe Jalen Berger has that in him because it is so hard to win that job. And the way that they play football, not unlike the old schools in which we are used to people playing football in the 90s, in the 80s, gives itself to the running back. Back when I was coming up and everybody wanted to be a running back. We all wanted to be Emmitt Smith. We all wanted to be Eddie George. We all later wanted to be Steven Jackson. That is what you're getting at Wisconsin. Perhaps you want to talk about this in a different way, but I tend to think about it as, yo, what do you recruit? What do you develop? What are your numbers in college? And then what do you do in the NFL? Okay? Go to wide receiver U. I got Alabama here because when you take into account basically what they have been since 2010, it's difficult to argue, man. I mean, there's a great argument for Amari Cooper being the best wide receiver to come out of Alabama in the last decade based on production, based on what he had to work with quarterback, based on the rest of the offense. But then you throw in Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, and that's just in the last 3 years, guys. We can keep going here, all right? That's kind of the point. And when you look at the way that they recruited this past year, 40% of the top 10 wide receivers in the 2021 class signed with Alabama. Hello. We're already talking about what John Mechie's going to do with Bryce Young this year. We got it like that at Alabama. Holman Wiggins doing a job, right? Many of y'all don't know. He had to stop at TU before going Vodtech and then ended up at Alabama. But you know what? I get it. I understand. Not all of you understand. And we get to APBU. All-purpose back you. I take it back to Jacoby Ford. I take it back to CJ Spiller. I take it back to when Dabo was a position coach. All right? And then I can move forward. Like, you take a look at Travis Etienne and what he has been for them. We got people that sincerely believe that Travis Etienne is not going to work out in the NFL. Are you serious? The man came in with the nickname Stone Hands and became one of the best pass catchers out of the backfield that we've seen in the past 2 years. The man is a really just outstanding version of Ronald Jones if Ronald Jones could catch. He is a stockier, meatier version of Alvin Kamara. That's what you got in Travis Etienne. And then take a look at what Will Shipley provides them. The fact that they had DeMarcus Bowman in the boat. Lynn J. Dixon doesn't even get shine, but he got it like that. And we're still having these discussions about APBU. I don't understand. I got a little cute here with the defensive line because on the one hand, I could see how if you're an Ohio State fan, you think, yo, RJ, Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, your man's Chase Young, right? Your brother from another. Y'all can get there. But I would say to you, hey, man, edge. If you play in on Larry Johnson's defensive line, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. But it's not as if I'm looking at Draymond Jones and seeing it all pro. That's not what I'm doing, okay? I'm not looking around at these dudes that's coming out of Ohio State in the defensive interior and feeling like I'm going to get an NFL Rookie of the Year. Feeling like I'm going to see a Pro Bowler. I get that on edge. Zach Harrison, Tyreek Smith, Jonathan Cooper. I had that last year. I felt good about that. I feel good about it this year. Jack Sawyer coming in. Hello. You can get there. I don't have a problem with them at Edge U as DEU, right? DBU, this is where I'm actually getting the most pushback, and I thought this was the most solid. We're talking about 7 first-round draft picks at corner, right? Since 2016. You know, I'll get people that's about, RJ, have you been paying attention to LSU? Yes, I have. Show me the last first-rounder they put in there, dog, at DB. Grant Delpit won the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award, still slid to the second round. Okay? I get Elias Ricks is a dude. I get Derek Stingley Jr. is my favorite, but they ain't been drafted yet. And Derek didn't have the best season last year. Eli was the dude showing up. Meanwhile, a lot of y'all going to be talking the middle against LSU. It's also a difficult day to talk LSU, quite honestly, right? But taking into account what they could be, Cordell Flott might be a dude. We'll see, right? I really loved Kerry Vincent before he opted out. Jacoby Stevens before he opted out, but I don't see those dudes as being, first-round draft picks. You know what I mean? Y'all want to lean on Tyrann Mathieu. All right, that's one. Pat Peterson is no longer Pat Peterson. Let's say it's been too long. You can't say it anymore. It's just not true. I love the man. Like, the number 7 was the dude. He was a monster. Now you need to move him to safety. Now that's what he is. He free safety. You got to move him over. Them hips don't swivel and go the way that they used to, okay? The man is a little less Goku, a little less Gohan and a little more Goku, okay? He ain't got it like that. We're going to mess around. We're going to get to Master Roshi here in just a second. Okay. We get to ILBU. We got Monty Rice, who's probably going to get drafted in day 2. I don't know about day 1. Depends on how the scouting combine thing goes. But I look at guys like Roquan Smith and I go, good grief. Are you another dude that's coming out of there? And you look at some of the guys that they have put into the league over the last 10 years, and that's even going back before Kirby Smart got there, and you're going, really? Georgia? Like I was looking at an RBU conversation around Georgia, right? Talk about Sony Michel, talk about Nick Chubb, right? Talk about Todd Gurley. And I was like, yo, I remember when Noshawn Moreno was the dude, because Georgia just got dudes coming out like that. Like I did an earlier Spaces today where I talked a bit about tight ends, and I talked about why I believe they are underusing these solid tight ends they have at Georgia. Like Trey McKitty is probably going to turn into a star in the NFL. Hardly got tossed to at all, right? Darnell Washington, I am begging Todd Monken and Kirby Smart to figure it out with Darnell Washington, because I feel like Darnell Washington is a creative player. 6'7", 260 with hands, and you can line him up on the numbers? My goodness, man. Like, that's awesome. And then the idea that Eric Gilbert could have, probably not, but could have joined up, and then you had 6'5", 250 on one side, 6'7", 260 on the other side, and then you got that bevy of tailbacks in the back. I don't understand how Georgia ain't putting up 50 a game. Like, it just don't get to me. Anyway, get to DTU. Y'all remember Quincy? Y'all remember Quincy? How about Quinnen? Y'all remember Quinnen? How about Christian going in this year? How about him? You remember him? Like, we can keep going through those dudes. We can keep going through them. And then we can look at how they recruit and how they develop. Freddie Roach out there just making it happen. Okay? Now, if you really want to be cute about it, you can be cute about it. You could actually give Alabama every last one of these because it'd be easy. Because that's just what Alabama has been, right? We're talking about every dude that has stayed 3 years or more has won a national championship at the University of Alabama in the Nick Saban era. You can't say that about any other school that recruits itself, and it's a conveyor belt to the NFL. You know, they got 11 dudes that got combine invites. 11. Only Ohio State had more. And, you know, shocker, those two teams played in the national championship. And then ATU. All right, or ATHU, excuse me. I've seen you jokes about it. I got it. But when I look at what Roschon Johnson has been for them, going from quarterback to basically RB2, was running all up and down Oklahoma in 2019, even in a game they were OU won lopsided, right? Roschon was like, no, I'm here. I'm here. Hand me the rock. Hand me the ball. Then you look at Jordan Whittington. Then you look at Jake Smith. Then you look at Daniel Young. Then you look at, my goodness, dude, how did they recruit in 2021? Jatavion Sanders? Hello? That man is a monster. He could play offense. He could play defense. He and Billy Bowman, those were two dudes on the same team, two of the best athletes in the country. And when we say athlete, we mean you can go either way. Remember, they had Brew McCoy in there. Brew McCoy was so good as an edge rusher that Nick Saban recruited him an outside linebacker. He's playing wide receiver at SC, okay? That is what you got over there, you know? So on the one hand, I kind of see where some of y'all are coming with, right? But most of it is just you standing for your team. I don't stand for your team. You know, I want your team to be good. Like last year, I wasn't telling anybody Oklahoma was going to win much of anything. This year, you real, look, this the national title year, okay? This the national title year, okay? You've been building toward this for 3 years. It is the biggest window Oklahoma has had since 2017. But I wasn't doing that last year. I told everybody in January of 2020, Alabama's going to win a national championship. And then what happened? Where were y'all? Where was everybody? Y'all, RJ don't know what he's talking about. I don't? Okay. All right. Be back. I said LSU's going to catch 5 L's. How many L's they catch? All right? Like, this ain't me just over here making stuff up. I do the homework because that's what this is about, right? I take everybody seriously here. I don't really want to be in a business where I'm not taking your team seriously. But if your team ain't good, your team ain't good. If your team is in a rebuilding year, it's in a rebuilding year. If your team is ATHU but can't win a Big 12 championship, guess what? You probably need to develop that talent. The idea of LJ Humphrey going undrafted never crossed my mind until he did, man. Like, I still don't get it. Texas played LSU close, 45-38. And we still talking about LSU going 15-0. That's how close they were. That's what the talent was. I felt they were a quarterback away. We'll see if Casey Thompson can end up being that dude. Some of y'all think it's Hudson Card. Now, I am inclined to have some conversation about this because I would like to hear a point, right? I would like to hear an argument. I would like to open the floor. All right, Stevie, let's see what you got.